Hi guys, today I'm going to talk about the 6 documents that you may or may not need to travel with your baby, a baby anywhere from 0 to 2 years of age. You might not need all of these travel documents, but if you do need one of them and you don't have one of them, you get to the airport and you realize that you forgot one or you didn't know about it, it can put you in a whole lot of hurt, maybe even cancel your travel plans. So make sure you watch this video to the end and make sure that you have all of the documents you need in order to travel with your baby internationally. Okay, so the first one is very obvious to most travelers, but you would be surprised how many people don't know that a baby needs to have a passport. No matter what, if it's a lap baby, if the baby is just a few days old, it doesn't matter. Your baby needs to have a passport in order to travel internationally. The one exception to this rule is if your child, or actually a 15-year-old, a child who's 15 years old and younger, if your child is traveling between the US and Mexico or the US and Canada by land or sea, so traveling in a boat or a car, in that case, your child can travel without a passport with just their birth certificate. But if your baby is traveling internationally in the air, on an airplane, they need to have a passport. Make sure you get on this early on. We all know that passports can take a long time to receive. In the US, for a baby's passport, for a child's passport, you have to go in person with them to a passport office. So it's kind of an involved process. Make sure you get on that planning really early on before you try and book a plane ticket. It's hard for me to remember exactly now, but I believe for our son, it took about a good month or so to get both his Canadian and American passports. Technically, it's possible to fly internationally with a little baby, even, a week-old baby. It's possible to fly if your baby is healthy and all that. But my question would be, how do you obtain a passport that quickly? If you've flown with a baby who's a week old and managed to get their passport in time, I would love to hear about it in the comments. The second document you might need in order to travel with your baby internationally is their birth certificate. I don't think I've ever had anyone at the airport ask for my child's birth certificate in the 30-ish flights that I've had with my son. However, I'm in a lot of travel forums with other parents, and I have heard that other parents have been asked for this or a copy of their child's birth certificate. Sometimes the reason for this is because they want to prove that you are the child's real parent. And so a child's birth certificate is a really quick way, your name is on their birth certificate, it's a really quick way to prove that you are that child's guardian. Since hearing all this, I always travel with my son's birth certificate just in case anybody asks me for it. I would always rather be on the safe side. Better safe than sorry. If this information is helping you out, please remember to like this video down below. The third document you're going to need for your baby is something that comes as a total surprise for some people and is completely obvious for other parents, and that is a boarding pass. Even if your baby is a lap baby and doesn't have a seat, you need to put their names on your reservation. You need to let the airline know when you're buying your ticket that you are going to have a baby with you on your lap, and they will actually issue your baby their own ticket, their own boarding pass. It gets verified and everything. It gets matched up to their passport as you're going through all of the lines, the check-in lines and security lines and all that. Your baby counts as a person at the airport. I think the reason that a lot of parents don't realize that they need a boarding pass for their baby is because a lot of times it's completely free or you get it at a reduced rate. To learn more about adventuring and traveling with a young family, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. The fourth piece of documentation that you may need, depending on where you're traveling in the world, is your child's vaccination record. For most travel destinations, you're not going to need to show any kind of proof of vaccination for your child. However, there are some exceptions, so be sure to research the specific place where you're going. For example, some subtropical destinations require a yellow fever vaccine. The fifth document on this list is for new parents. Babies who are 7 days old or less will need a physician's note. This is required by some airlines, not all, that the baby's doctor signs a letter saying that the baby is healthy enough to fly. And finally, the sixth document that you may need for your baby if you're traveling alone, so this is for parents who are traveling solo with their children, you need to make sure and get a notarized form or letter signed by your partner saying that it's okay for you to travel alone to cross an international border with your child without that parent present. I've made another video that explains how how you can download a sample consent letter or consent form, so make sure you check that out if this is your situation. I'll link it down below. And lastly, don't forget to do your research and see if your destination requires a visa in order for you to visit, in which case you would also need to get a visa for your traveling child. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.